Hello guys, what is going on? This is Midnight Zero, and I'm back with another Pokemon battle for you guys, and this time we are in the Ubers tier, so we're dealing with those legendaries, those powerful Pokemon that you guys always like, and so, got a couple battles for you, let's get going. In the first battle, I'm looking at his team, I'm seeing Deoxys Speed as the probable lead, and that's what it looks like, because, you know, Suicide League, get up those Stealth Rocks and Spikes, maybe Genesect, but we'll see. So I'm just going to lead off with my Ferrothorn, hopefully get up my hazards and resist whatever comes in. So first turn, he leads off with Deoxys Speed, not too bad. Ferrothorn, I thought we were going to trade Stealth Rocks, but I guess not. So he taunts me, my Ferrothorn is useless then. So I'm going to switch in my Arceus, and while he's setting up everything, I might be able to get some Swords Dances off. But he goes for the taunt again, and that's just really annoying because now he has the Reflect up, and I have an attacking Arceus, so that's not going to do much at all. Even Extreme Speed, which is Stab. So he's setting up his dual screens, which basically lets me know this Deoxys isn't going to be able to attack at all. It's got Stealth Rock, dual screens, and Taunt. So I'm not too worried about it. But he sends in his Terrakion, and I'm like, this is not good. I'm expecting close combat, so he's going to force the switch, and I'm going to switch in my Mewtwo, which would resist it, and can outspeed and probably get a kill with my Psystrike. I do not know if that crit mattered because the Reflect and Light screen were up, but Mewtwo is a special attacking boss, so I'm not that surprised. He's going to taunt me again, so I'm not going to go for the substitute, and I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam to try and get damage on this Deoxys. I know it can't hurt me, and it's just going to set up its screens again. At this point, he really has nothing else to do, so I'm just going to kill off this Deoxys, and that's another annoying Pokemon gone. So, at this point, he is going to send out his Arceus Electric, and this is actually the only Arceus Electric I've seen. And he's got the Extreme Speed. I didn't really need Mewtwo at this point because all the rest of his Pokemon resist it well. So I'm going to send in my Choice Scarf Dialga, go for the Aura Sphere, super effective, and yeah, goes well. The thing is, I think he was an Arceus Normal, just named Arceus Elect to mess with me, but oh well. So he sends in Rayquaza, and this thing is a tank. This thing is so powerful, so I do not want to mess around with, well, Aura Sphere, which is resisted. So he manages to get a Dragon Dance up, and I'm going to go into my Choice Scarf Palkia. Hopefully he tries to set up again or something. And he goes for the Outrage, takes it out. So I send in my Ferrothorn to resist it, and still, that does a ton. Now at this point, I'm going to have to go for the Leech Seed to hope that I can actually get some HP back and possibly take another Outrage. But his Outrage ends, which is nice, because now he's confused and he's going to have to switch. Or he doesn't have to, but it's good. But I'm going to Protect Stall just to be safe, hopefully get some HP back, so I can potentially take another Outrage. He sends a Mewtwo, goes for the Aura Sphere, super effective. I just barely hang on enough to get the Toxic off, so I can put a timer on this Mewtwo, which is awesome. And now he's going to go for the Psystrike, finish off Ferrothorn. It's okay, Ferrothorn did his job. And now I'm going to send in my Kyogre, hopefully get Thunder off, so that if he switches into Rayquaza, I can take it down. But he goes for the Psystrike, and that does quite a bit of damage. But Thunder, especially from a Choice Specs Kyogre, is going to do a ton of damage to whatever he hits. So now it's no point in switching because of Stealth Rock damage, possibly when he comes in. And he's got the Extreme Speed, so I know I can't do anything with Kyogre. But I can send in my Choice Scarf Dialga to outspeed the Rayquaza. And he's just going to use Extreme Speed to get whatever damage he can because he knows that I outspeed. And I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse and take this thing down. And now he's got only his Genesect left, and he gets the Special Attack boost, which is pretty threatening. But I don't want to be choice locked into Dragon Pulse against this Genesect because it resists it, so I'm going to switch in my Arceus. He goes for the Rock Polish, which means he's going to outspeed my Dialga. So now this Genesect is a big threat. He goes for the Bug Buzz, gets the Special Defense drop. Now that does matter because he did half, and with leftovers, I'd be over half and could survive another one. Go for another Earthquake, which would be more powerful. But now, because I know I'm going to die, I'm forced to go for the Extreme Speed because it's Stab, get whatever damage I can. And now it's down to my Dialga versus his Genesect. This is really intense. I just barely survived the Ice Beam, and I'm going to go for the safe Aura Sphere because I know it won't miss, and it should take it out. And that will be the game. So, that was a great battle. This trainer, Crystal, was actually one of the top 100 for the Pokemon Showdown ladder in Ubers. Found that out after the game. It was a great battle, really down to the wire. It was a fun, exciting one. So, that was good. And now it was a relatively short battle, so we have time for another one. And this is another Ubers match, so let's go. Now I'm using a different team here, and I'm going up against this team. And when I look at this team, I'm seeing a couple way lower tiers. I'm like RU or UU, and I'm very confused. So Archeops is not that great. Its initial attacks are strong, but he's not going to lead with that, I don't think. I'm expecting a lead with probably a Choice Scarf Keldeo or a T-Tar to set up Sandstorm. So I'm going to lead off with my Mewtwo, hopefully counter with that Aura Sphere or Ice Beam on the Archeops. Really, Mewtwo is good against his entire team. So I lead off with Mewtwo, and he leads off with Arcanine, which is really confusing, but I'm just going to go for the safe Aura Sphere, expecting a switch, and he goes for a Howl. I've never seen a Howl Arcanine, especially in Ubers, so I'm really weird at this, or it's really weird at this point. He's going for the Extreme Speed, does like close to a third. I'm not too worried. Aura Sphere doesn't kill, and he goes for another Extreme Speed. Mewtwo's still fine. Is this like a bulky, howling Arcanine? I've never even heard of that set, but he sends in T-Tar, get the sand up. I was expecting a switch, or maybe a Choice Scarf set, because who sends in a T-Tar on a Mewtwo that is already revealed Aura Sphere? But take that out. And then I have Ice Beam, but I'm not sure if I outspeed or not, so I'm going to send in my Lugia, Gaia, and he goes for the Earthquake, which is really interesting because it's not even stab, but goes for the Head Smash now, and I have Multi-Scale, so I'm going to live that, and I go for the Ice Beam. Now this Archeops is below half HP, so his Defeatist ability is going to kick in and have his attack, so it's pretty much really weak, and I know I can roost off the damage, and hopefully get back to Multi-Scale, set up Sub, so that this Archeops can't do anything to me. And at this point, he's forced to go to Stone Edge, which misses a fifth of the time, so I know I'm going to be able to get a free sub eventually. And now he knows I have Ice Beam and that I'm behind a sub, so he's going to switch into his Dialga, and I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam, and I get the Freeze Hacks. I felt so bad for this, but in the end, I don't think it really would have made that much of a difference, because I do thaw him out at the end. You guys will see. But I go for the Roost, and I'm at 99% HP. I'm so close to Multi-Scale again, but I don't. And I could go for the Roost, but I just want to get rid of this Dialga, and I have the free turns. I have the sub up, so I'm not too worried, so I don't want to switch. I'm just going to keep going for Ice Beam to wear down this Dialga. And so he knows this, he's going to switch, but I don't know why he'd switch a Groudon into an Ice Beam. Unless it was specially defensive max HP, but he's going to go for Rock Polish thinking maybe he can survive a second one, but that's not happening. And he's not a bulky variant because he doesn't have leftovers, so just really confusing. And then he sends an Archeops, he gets a crit, super effective, Stone Edge, not a big deal. Takes down my sub, I can go for another Ice Beam and take it down. And now this is another really confusing set. He goes for Keldeo, and I'm expecting Choice Scarf, Secret Sword, Hydro Pump. He goes for Endeavor. I Toxic it to like get poison residual damage. He goes for Endeavor, and he's maybe like a Focus Sash, so he lives with 1 HP, was expecting a Psychic, and then go for Endeavor, weaken me. But I'm really confused. And now that the sun's up, I can get back to Multi-Scale with leftovers, so that's nice. But he just keeps going for Endeavor. And I figure at this point, I'm just going to have to wear him down to low enough HP that he's going to try and take me out with some other attack, and I'm going to be able to resist it with the sub or roost it off so that he dies from toxic damage and I don't. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm just going to keep going with Ice Beams. And he's getting pretty low on HP. He's going to go for Endeavor again. I think at this point he's going to try and take me out with some other move. So I'm going to set up a sub because I know he's going to die from toxic damage on the next turn. So I set up sub, he goes for Endeavor, or no, he doesn't go for Endeavor, he goes for Close Combat, and that's ×4 resisted. So I don't even know what else this Keldeo has, but he dies from toxic damage, and then he's going to be left with his Dialga, which is frozen, and so I'm like, why not? Let's go out with a bang. Send in my Rayquaza, which is super powerful attack. And I'm going to go for the V-Create, but it just barely survives. And this part actually absolutely cracks me up. I thaw him out, he goes for Roar of Time and misses. Wow. So I finish him off with Extreme Speed, 6-0 baby, and yeah, his team overall was just not that great. Hacks was definitely against him, but I don't think it would have mattered in the end, really. My Mewtwo could have swept his team easily. It was not that either way, my team is definitely going to win. But anyways, so those are some Ubers battles for today. Hopefully soon I'll be bringing you guys maybe another tier. I'm liking underused tier a lot right now. But yeah, so I'll be seeing you guys soon. But until then, this has been Midnight Zero. Peace.